Today I am going to be turning these Halloween candies into cuties. Let's design some monster girls. And of course, you know I had to start off with the most iconic Halloween candy, candy corn. Okay, let's go ahead and get the controversy out of this video. If you like candy corn, leave a corn emoji because there's no candy corn emoji. And if you don't like candy corn, leave a jack-o'-lantern emoji because let's keep it spooky. Okay, the controversy is out of the way. Let's talk about the art. So going into these designs, obviously I wanted to take a lot of inspiration from these candies. So the most distinct things about candy corn is the triangular shape and the three colors. So in designing a Halloween themed monster girl, when I think of a triangle, I think of a witch hat. So I was thinking either a witch character, triangular ears means a cat character, and then another spooky Halloween animal with pointy ears is a bat. I think in the end, between the witch, the cat, and the bat character was definitely the most creative and different. So I went with that in the end. And I actually had a lot of fun with this design because it isn't just a bat girl. It's this sort of, again, monster creation that isn't quite a bat. There's some alterations to it, but it is a girl. And just overall, I had a lot of fun just creating this character, playing around with color, but also thinking about if this character was sort of human-like. I wanted to think about her personality or what age she was or what she was doing. So originally I had given her some sort of candy corn wand to maybe suggest that she was also magical, but I thought that was kind of boring. These are monster girls, not magical anime girls. So I changed the candy corn wand she was holding to another tail of the same species of creature. So maybe she had accidentally pulled the tail off of someone else. I'm thinking maybe these bat girls kind of have releasable tails like some lizards do. So if you grab their tail in defense, they can lose their tail so that they can get away. Even though I just said that they are the monsters, maybe in this universe there are bigger monsters. So I like to think that this Batgirl has grabbed the tail of her friend just to play a joke and didn't actually mean to rip her tail off, but she ended up ripping her tail off. So she's like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, and now I have your tail in my hand. Maybe I'll just eat it because I'm a monster and that's what I do. I also gave her a little fanny pack because I just wanted to give a fanny pack, or for those of you in the UK, a bum bag. I gave her some jewelry because she just kind of seemed like a punk-like character, and overall I really like her coloring. I used a sort of dark purple black color instead of just a pure gray because I think the purple went really well, obviously, with a complemented yellow color. Oh yeah, and I also gave her tattoos on her tail because as a furry creature, you can't see tattoos under fur. So I thought it would be really cool if she tattooed her naked tail, but I also guess she could have put tattoos on her wings, but for now she just does her tail. And overall, even though she is a monster and she can be a little rough around the edge, I think she's really fun and playful and really nice. So here is our candy corn bat creature. Next up is a very classic Halloween candy. We have caramel apple pops, which are the bane of anybody's teeth. I find this candy hysterical because it's just like someone squirted the messiest, goopiest stuff they could find in between two pieces of paper, stuck a stick in there, and squished it closed. Good luck opening this candy and not having a piece of plastic end up in your mouth because this stuff is sticky. Also, good luck not ripping your teeth out with it. If you don't know what this candy is, it's basically a green Jolly Rancher covered in caramel. It's pretty good. Not my go-to candy, but it's not horrible. So obviously going into this monster girl, I wanted to go for a goopy slime girl. So I started off with a basic just slime girl, moved on to a more sort of ghostly slime girl, and then maybe a more muscular slime girl because I really wanted to include the stick of the lollipop. Sucker? Whatever. In the end, I actually kind of combined all three of these girls, obviously using the first sketch as the base, but I really like the idea of her using that stick as a weapon of some sort, but also I really like the apples in her hair and using the stick to keep it all together. I really liked how simple yet cute and fun the first original sketch was, so that's who I went with. Now, a huge concern of mine when drawing this girl, because caramel is a brown color, is that I really was hoping she didn't look like diarrhea. Thankfully, I don't think she looks like diarrhea. I think she actually looks very goopy and slimy and sticky, which is exactly what I was going for, obviously. She is mostly just this brown, goopy, blobby thing, but I really like the pop of green in her hair. I think it's really cute. I also just really like the way I incorporated the stick. And let's be honest, even as a monster girl, she is not spared any sort of sex appeal, so we have a very sticky, yet sexy thigh gap. I mean, does she even have legs, technically? Or is that even thighs? Who knows? What I do know is that she's very thick. And again, she might be a very simple character design, but I think she's really cute and lovable. And I'm curious to see her fight with that stick because something tells me it's just gonna get stuck in her and she probably fumbles a lot. I'm sure she's a very sweet monster girl. Get it? Sweet? Because she's probably very, very kind. Okay, we're moving on. It wouldn't be Halloween without mangled, bloody body parts and of course eating them. So next up we have these gummy monster parts which come in the teeth variety, a bloody finger variety, and a foot variety. So taking inspiration from this particular candy, it was called monster parts, but when I think of a zombie, I don't really think of a monster. I think a person that is dead. When I think monster parts, I think Frankenstein. So going into this particular monster girl, I kind of combined the idea of monster and Frankenstein. So the idea behind this monster girl is that she is, I guess, a sort of Frankenstein monster of zombies. I'm not really sure. All I knew is that I wanted to combine a variety of body types, thick, thin, different colors, and turn them into one monster girl. This one was really fun to play around with, especially to exaggerate shapes and also mix those exaggerated shapes. If you can't decide on drawing a thick girl or a thin girl, well, just draw a monster girl and you can make thick and thin parts where they count or where they don't count. Oh, I just realized I should have had her have different color boobs. Why did I not give her different color boobs? I could have given her 6 boobs if I wanted to. I mean, who's to say? You can sew on a boob on her arm. Why did I put a boob on her arm? Anyways, I knew I really wanted to play around with a green skin color because again, even though the candy wasn't green, it was just like this pale skin color, I really wanted to combine that zombie aspect. And I also thought it would be really fun to play around with color. So not only do we have the green skin, but we also have purple skin. I also wanted to make sure that the 2 heads that we combined had 2 very different hairstyles. So we have this weird punkish bowl cutty blonde hair on one side and a poofy pigtail on the other. One leg is hairy, one leg is shaved, we have a tattoo on one arm. But there's one thing holding them together. I mean, aside from the stitching, I thought it would be really cute to give them a nose ring so that kind of physically holds them together in a sort of way. It's very silly. I just love how punk this girl is. She's mixing her styles, yet making it work. To be honest, I think this whole big arm, little leg, big leg, little arm look is working for her. I think she's cute. I think she turned out fun. For our 4th and final monster girl character design, I wanted to get some chocolate in here and I also wanted to get something pumpkin themed because we haven't had a pumpkin character yet. So I found these caramel filled chocolate pumpkins and they're filled with goopy caramel, which I was just a little too excited about and forgot that we already created a slime girl character, but I was kind of focusing on a pumpkin headed, maybe ghost-like creature for this one. But again, sadly, I did kind of get a little obsessed with the goopy caramel, so maybe she's a distant cousin from our caramel slime girl. So focusing on a ghost with a pumpkin on its head, we have this strange goopy caramel pumpkin that I wanted to make crying caramel. Now looking back on it, I probably shouldn't have focused so much on it being caramel considering this is a monster girl inspired by the candy, not the candy turned into a girl. girl. So maybe something like blood or mysterious ghost goop coming out of the pumpkin would have looked better. But I thought it would be really interesting if this pumpkin was sad and crying this goopy stuff. But in turn, the goopy stuff was swirling around and entering her body again. So she's kind of like this lava lamp creature where she cries her body out and then her body re-enters through her head and then comes back out. She's always swirling and mixing her body together. I don't know how this monster girl works. She's a weird one, but overall, I think I just had a little bit too much fun making her ponytail vine, making her cry her guts out, literally, and just overall how strange and different this one turned out. I can just imagine her floating in front of you with her overall dress constantly dropping, but then also being caught again as her body floats it back up and re-enters her body. She's a weird one. She's sad. She's cursed. I guess you could say she's the most monster-like because she's the least human-looking. Either way, there she is, our fourth and final Halloween-inspired monster girl. Before you go, don't forget to check out my Redbubble shop where you can buy art, prints, puzzles, and a whole lot more. I mean, just look at these photos. You guys are the best. There's a 15% off code in the description, so check that out. And of course, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Stay golden. Oh, one last thing before I go. A huge thank you to my patrons. You guys are even more the best. If you want early access to my videos, secret sketches, work in progresses, and more, check out the link to my Patreon in the description. Thank you guys all so much for the support. Is that it? Is it finally the end of the video?